What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Geeky Gecko Creations video reacts. This is going to be my first time watching this video, and I'm going to give you my live reaction to it. Check out our other channel here in the top right corner, which I just started, which is going to be my reaction from a Christian perspective to politics, news, events, all the latest stuff going on in our world. Brian Barczyk was a Christian before he passed away. Most of us admire and look up to Brian. I did do a video when Brian did pass away, so I'll link that in the top right corner here, and then I'll also link Bad Choice Noah's original video and his socials below. So without further ado, let's see what Noah has to say about leaving the Reptarium. Now, I looked on Brian Barczyk's channel and I did not see an announcement of Noah leaving. Maybe he announced it somewhere else. I also looked on the Reptarium channel right here, and I also don't see a video announcing Noah leaving. So it's on Noah's channel, Bad Choice Noah. I'm not sure if he made a post about this somewhere else, but the title, Why I Left the Reptarium, makes it sound like this happened a while ago, or some people were already privy to this information. So maybe he did announce it somewhere else, but this is the one and only video on it that I can find. So let's check it out.
I'm done working at the Reptarium. I quit. There's a lot of different reasons why. As many of you know, my father passed away. Brian Barczyk, he is the founder of BHB Reptiles, of the Reptarium, Brian Barczyk YouTube channel, Snake Bites TV. He's done so much. Passed away from pancreatic cancer earlier this year, January of 2024.
Yeah, Brian must have really been a fighter, guys, because working with reptiles day in and day out and being healthy is such a strain. And then, you know, he was responsible for people's insurances, paychecks, new hires, making sure all the animals are taken care of. And he had thousands, tens of thousands of animals, selling animals, right? So there was a lot going on, traveling, vlogging every single day. I couldn't imagine. And then having, from what I understand, to be one of the worst cancers that you can have, which is pancreatic cancer, and still push through and do all that he did is truly amazing. And I think he will always be a pinnacle in the reptile hobby and somebody that people look up to for ages to come. The bar has been set, and so for many different reasons, right? But he is the largest reptile influencer on the planet since Steve Irwin, and it's just amazing that we got to live in the same generation as him.
For all that, I chose to give it a shot to see what I could do with his YouTube channel. As the time went on, it became more evident to me that it's not my path, it's not my direction. It's,
you know, this kinda doesn't surprise me, but Noah did a fantastic job when his father passed away. You know, if you watch my first video, which is in the top right corner here, I was saying how I was really proud and impressed with the way that Noah took the reins and became his father in a sense. You know, Brian brought a certain perspective, energy, and passion to the vlogs and showing off reptiles every single day. And Noah matched that energy and passion when Brian passed away, his father, and no one can take that away from him. But I think anyone who does know Noah, and I don't know Noah, but I've seen him on camera before his dad was sick, and it just seemed like his path might be a different direction. Maybe something in the arts and the creative arts, but maybe not with animals per se, you know, because he's a very talented influencer and he seems to be passionate about making videos. I think I even heard him say in the past that him and Jay, which was like one of Brian's right-hand mans there at the company, still there, I believe, Noah and Jay would like edit the videos together and put in like all these funny things. So he has a big passion for like production, but maybe not necessarily a passion for doing like animal vlog content. And that's kind of what I think he's getting at in this video.
It's not where I'm supposed to be. For years, I've worked at the Reptarium alongside my dad, and I've gathered many amazing memories that I will cherish and hold with me for the rest of my entire life. And I am grateful for those memories. But I cannot lie and say that even though I've garnished these memories and I'm so grateful for them, that even during that time, I knew that it wasn't where I was supposed to be.
Nice edit with the echo. I like that. I'm gonna have to learn how to do that. You know, the pressure that was on Noah to fulfill the shoes of Brian Barczyk. Oh my goodness. And being his son, so it's almost like expected to carry the torch. Even if it's not your passion, he's gonna give it his best shot because of how much he loved his father. The pressure that was on him to entertain millions of people in place of the shoes of his dad. Could you imagine? And he did such a good job with it. He became this mature, energetic, passionate animal person on camera, just like his dad was, and took over for a good while. I mean, I think we just passed like the 8 or 9 month mark since Brian passed away, and Noah's been holding it down ever since then. And even before then, when his dad started to get sick, I think they all realized that Noah was going to be prepped to like step into that role. Like, imagine the shoes to fulfill, you know. I guess it's kind of similar to like monarchies and kingdoms back in the day, where like the firstborn male heir, so to speak, or female heir, all the pressure was on them to learn the majesty and what it took to be a leader in the kingdom, because it was going to be passed on to them, whether they liked it or not. And thankfully, we live in a day and age now where people can pursue their own passions. And so I would be interested to see what Noah continues to say in this video, and if he mentions any passions that he's going to be pursuing in this video. I'm sure he's going to say it at some point, but we'll see if he says anything here.
Now, what does that mean? It just means that I was never fulfilled. Honestly, I was always really into it, or very depressed, honestly.
What a brave man for being honest, because I could imagine, you know, the internet likes to hate, right? People like to hate. And I could imagine that people, some people, not relevant people, but I could imagine some people would hate on Noah and be like, how could you not fulfill your dad's shoes? How could you not carry on his legacy? How could you fake being happy on camera and all that? And people can be super cruel and mean. So for Noah to get on camera and be honest and just be like, man, for years I wasn't feeling it, or for years I knew this wasn't my passion, but he still fulfilled it anyway. I mean, that is the ultimate definition of customer service and sacrifice. And so very proud of him regardless. Let's see what he continues to say. Very brave.
My heart's just been misaligned, and it's caused depression. And I'm not saying I'm depressed right now, because I'm not, but I just knew that it was time.
Sorry, so much is coming to mind right now because, you know, a lot of people, you know, think that being on social media and being famous, right? Brian Barczyk is famous. Noah Barczyk is famous. A lot of people think being famous is fulfilling in of itself and being rich and having money, but it's really not. And you have to find your fulfillment in the little things in life, you know, and I'm constantly trying to keep myself in remembrance of that. A simple life, simple joy, the simple things that make you happy, family, health, friends, good times, not things, not material things or possessions or fame or fortune that passes, but people and relationships and things that really make you happy and that you're passionate about, and also things that matter on a eternal perspective, right? I mean, Brian was very vocal about his faith in Jesus Christ as he was going through his process, and that is amazing because there is not a lot of people that are vocal in our hobby, in the reptile hobby, about their faith in Jesus. Because I tell this to people all the time, but the reptile hobby is a little bit more like non-God based in a way. Obviously, there's a lot of people that believe in God, but I think a lot of it is very distributed between multiple religions, not believing in God, or believing in God and wanting to mock him. And so for the #1 reptile influencer to come out as a full out Christian, which means a lot because Jesus says he's the way, the truth, and the life, and there's no other way to get to God except through him. That's a huge statement to make yourself a Christian, which is why Christians often get, you know, persecuted a few thousand years ago, and in some places today still killed, but also just heavily mocked and rejected because no other religion does that. Think about this for a second. No other religion claims to be the one way except Jesus. So it's huge. It's huge to say that you're a Christian and what the impact and implication is that that means. And he was not ashamed to pronounce Christ before his passing in this world. And what the Bible tells us and what Jesus tells us is, if you're not ashamed of me in this life, I won't be ashamed of you before my father's throne in the next life. Gives me goosebumps just thinking about it. But praise God. I kind of forgot why I stopped. Oh yeah, we were talking about like the riches not pleasing you and stuff like that, right? So let's see what he continues to say.
Never going to be easy. It was never going to be comfortable. But sometimes I get comfortable sitting in a situation that I know doesn't work, but it's what I know, and the unknown is scary. And so, do I know how this is gonna pan out? Do I know what my life's gonna turn into? No, and that's scary. But I'd rather be in the unknown, take a chance, and be scared than be in a space where I know it's gonna happen. And I've been there for about 7 years, and I know I'm done. And if you want to support me and my family on this new adventure that we're taking, we're actually dropping new merch right here. Make Today Awesome with our logo on the back. Link is in the description. Make Today Awesome. Get yours today. It's only a limited run and everything is going to ship out at the same date. So this is when the merch run is going to end, and this is when the merch will actually ship out. So purchase them right here. Don't wait too long.
So I did purchase a shirt from them, and then also the Legacy Reptarium patch, which I think is so cool, for my Redline Shipping bag. I had to get the white bag because it was like a limited edition. I don't know if they're gonna continue to make it, and I was like, I want to get limited edition, but white does get dirtier easier than black, so just keep that in mind. And it is like twice as much, but it's limited edition, and if you like collectibles, it's definitely something to think about. So there's the Legacy Reptarium patch. Super beautiful patch,
because before you know it, you won't be able to make today awesome. You know, my dad, he's accomplished.
Dang, what did he say? He went deep there. Hold on, let's repeat that real quick.
Don't wait too long, because before you know it, you won't be able to make today awesome.
That's pretty philosophical right there. I mean, that kind of just reminds me of the Bible scripture that says, don't worry about tomorrow because tomorrow has enough worries of its own. And there's also another scripture that talks about planning things in the future. It's like, make those plans hesitantly or with the expectation that you might not make it till a year from now. You might not make it till that point that you're making those plans. And so Noah just kind of emphasized that with saying that you might not be able to make today awesome one day, you know? And that's the reality and the scary truth.
You know, my dad, he's accomplished such amazing things, and you know, his channel, I've helped him with his channel a lot, editing ideas, talking to him, so on and so forth. And now that he's gone, it's just not the same. It's just not the same. He's not the one in front of the camera. His passion isn't there. My passion isn't there. My passion's never been. I tried. You know, I tried. And
that you did. I mean, no one can take that away from him that he tried, because for the year leading up to Brian's passing, and for almost a year now after, for 2 years, he really gave it his all. Like, really. I don't want to put it this way because this sounds negative, but he fooled everybody into thinking that this was going to be what he would do for the rest of his life. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I just mean that he put on such a good face. He put on such a good game face that everybody was like, wow, he's really taken over, you know? And some people, like even myself, I had inclinations, you know, like, you know, maybe his path will go a different direction. But as far as you could read on his face at that moment, he was 100% in, 100% committed. And so Noah, I mean that in the best way possible as a positive comment. When I say that you could have fooled everyone, is that you put on such a game face that your dad would be so proud of your attempt to make a go at something that you really weren't even feeling that passionate about. And your dad would be very proud of that. And even a lot of us in the reptile hobby are, you know? So yeah, you got nothing to be ashamed about or worry about if those thoughts are even in your mind. But I'm sure your dad will be proud whatever direction you go. And your mom and the team over there at the Reptarium and the legacy that Brian left behind, sewing into everybody there, is going to continue to carry on and be awesome and be great for people every single day, just like Brian's goal was.
It's just fate. Can't go there another day and put on front and try hard to talk and educate about reptiles. I just don't care. It's just not me. I love animals.
Okay, I stopped it a little early, but I love his honesty and his bravery here. You know, sometimes like when you're breaking up in a relationship or something, there's a little bit of hope, or there's a little bit of hesitancy for you to be 100% honest with somebody because you don't want to hurt their feelings or something like that. But sometimes when you hold back information or hold back the way that you truly feel, the other person holds on to hope. There's no closure in their head because they think that there's still a chance for them to like get back together with you. So he's kind of really almost giving us no hope in a way for whatever he's leading up to say, hey guys, look, don't place any faith in me that this is what I'm going to come back and do someday. Like, let's close this chapter. I'm going to move on. And then if he comes back one day, he comes back. But he's really being firm in his statements, and maybe I don't know if he's doing that consciously and on purpose so that people aren't like holding on to hope, and that he's giving everybody that closure so that whoever is going to take over can fully have people's attention and dedication, because you know they're not going to be like, oh, where's Noah? Is Noah coming back today? They're going to be like, no, Noah's doing his own thing now, you know. So that's just kind of how I'm perceiving it and looking at it right now.
I love hanging out with them, and I think they're awesome. And I love nature. I love Earth. But it's just not me. I'm not Steve Irwin. I don't want to be Steve Irwin. I'm not Brian Barczyk. And I don't want to be Brian Barczyk. I want to be myself. So I have to embark on the journey.
You know what's crazy is when it comes to animals, there are certain pinnacle figures for the last 100 years, well, 50 years maybe or so, like Steve Irwin, Jeff Corwin. If you remember those guys, they started on the Discovery Channel. And then I really didn't know Brian when he was on Snakebites TV, but obviously I knew Brian when he was at the Reptarium and stuff like that. So I would say Brian is a super like one of those influential people. Brian and Steve Irwin to me are like the two most influential animal people that have ever existed. And so it's just interesting to think about, like, who are those pinnacle people in every generation, and how many names are at the top to where it's like, oh, everybody knows Brian, everybody knows Steve Irwin, you know? And to be honest, a lot of kids in this generation might not know Steve Irwin because no one's watching those old episodes anymore, you know, like they used to on cable TV and stuff. Now it's all about YouTube, right? And YouTube has become like the new television in a sense. So the big names on YouTube are really like the TV influencers for today's day and age. And there are a few people that usually hold recognition in each category, right? Insects, there's like Ants Canada, Tarantula Collective, Snakes has like Justin Kabelka, and I'm sorry if I don't say your name, I'm just saying a couple people that come to mind real quick. Always Evolving Pythons, you know, Leopard Geckos. There's not a ton of like really huge Leopard Gecko influencers, but you know, Leopard Geckos is like my number one thing, and that's one of the reasons I was really excited to make content for Leopard Geckos. But like Matt Baronic of Saddleback Reptiles, you know, even though he's not really making content anymore, he's definitely a legend. In my head, Suburban Geckos is a legend, you know, like people that were on YouTube before me, right? And then obviously there's going to be people in the future, but every category sort of has their like pinnacle figures that like everybody knows. And Brian is definitely like one of those for the entire reptile hobby across all categories.
And discover who even is Noah Barczyk. I know it's not faking it every day on a vlog channel. When I got out of high school, I messed around and I started Bad Choice Noah. I loved it and I just crushed it, and I made content and it was so much fun. And then life hit me hard. There's a series of intense, painful events in my life, and it derailed me. I allowed it to derail me. I just know that God has a plan for me, and I feel aligned in my spirituality. I feel aligned with my life, even though I have anxiety. But I just pray and I trust, I have faith. So
that is true. Just because you have faith in God or, you know, Christianity or whatever, doesn't mean your problems are going to go away, but actually God shapes you and molds you through your problems to become the character that you are asking for. So like, if you ask for love, you're going to be tempted with enemies. If you ask for patience, you're going to be tempted with frustrating moments. If you ask to be kind to people, you're going to be tempted with people that are not not kind to you. So you don't just like magically become, you know, this unicorn of a creature that can automatically perform these things with no will or effort. It's like you have to learn to submit your conscious and subconscious to this new direction that you're going and actively pursue why. Why should I be kind in this situation? Oh, because Jesus was kind to me. Why should I sacrifice in this situation? Oh, because Jesus sacrificed for me. Why should I forgive infinite amount of times? Oh, because Jesus forgave me infinitely for all of my crimes, right? And by crimes, I mean really sins, right? Crimes against God, right? 10 commandments, all that stuff. We've all broken that and fallen short of the glory of God. And so in that way, we are spiritual criminals. And God has forgiven us all by sacrificing his one and only son on the cross to be our redemption, wipe away our sins, and not only give us eternal standing and right standing with him, but also give us this ability to have a new heart and a new spirit and pursue a new direction in life. So Noah, props to you for mentioning all of these things, because these are very mature principles to be talking about. And for such a young guy, I don't remember his exact age, but he definitely looks pretty young. And I think he is pretty young. He's definitely got a really good head start in life.
I wanted to give an update on, hey, this is what I'm doing. If you don't see me on the vlog channel anymore, this is why. It may come as a surprise to a lot of you. It wouldn't. He told me many times he just wants me to be happy, and wherever that I am that makes me happy, then that's good. He's told me many times. I don't care if it's at the Reptarium. If it is, great. But if it's not, good. Go be happy. It's not about what the Reptarium is. It's about myself.
Yeah, you know, a lot of kids, you know, we had our monarchy and majesty example earlier, but bringing it to like a modern day perspective, like athlete kids and stuff like that, a lot of those follow in their parents' footsteps, or they choose a sport that is like similar to like what their parents did as far as like competition and stuff like that. But some kids go the exact opposite direction. They go in a completely different opposite direction. And we have to be aware that not everybody is going to want to do what their parents did. And that's okay.
It's about me. It's about my family. I wouldn't be doing my life, my one and only life on this planet, any justice if I were to stay. I took one risk in my life. One big risk in my life. And that was starting this YouTube channel. And it paid off back then. So you know what? I'm taking another risk. And it's gonna work out. It's gonna be the best thing that I've ever done. I don't know where it's gonna take me. But wherever it does, I know that I'll find joy. That I'll be happy. And I pray that it's in front of this camera. And it's on my channel. Traveling the world. Coming up with amazing videos and content for you guys to enjoy.
Ooh, that would be cool if he becomes like a vlogger, traveler. I wonder what he would show. You know, some people go get haircuts in India or in foreign countries, right? And they just show what the process is in these other countries. I don't know why that came to mind, but I've seen a few of those videos. It's like getting a haircut on the Indian street, and they're like massaging your head and stuff for like $5. It's crazy. That would be really exciting. That excites me actually, to follow Noah, to see what his journey is going to be and like what his passion is. And a lot of times you can like vicariously live through the creators and influencers that you follow. So I don't have the ability to travel the world and stuff, but if he does, that would be pretty cool to see that.
Come from my heart and are channeled through the creative energies of this earth. And I believe. So there you go. I'm done at the Reptarium. And this is for myself. And sometimes when it deals with your own life, you have to be selfish. It deals with your own family and the well-being of our mental health, you have to be selfish. Make sure to stay tuned. While you're here, might as well watch an old one. I will see you very shortly, my friends. Peace.
Anything else here? Just looking at the end. So he mentioned something about mental health, you know, and I think in a society that is constantly vying for your attention and thoughts, mental health is something that has been compromised greatly. And that might be one of the reasons why we see such like levels of mental challenge nowadays, is all of the input that is being inputted into our brains, all of the words that we hear on social media, the feelings and emotions that are communicated through the news. Those can become very distracting, and to some people that don't have the ability to cast their cares on the Lord and release those anxieties, it can build up and become depressing, frustrating, and some people are you know, they take it to the extreme and they wind up, you know, committing and stuff like that. And so it's just crazy to think about the influence of social media and how it vies for your attention to scroll, right? Scrolling all day long, scrolling. And that takes a mental toll for sure. And so you kind of have to like discipline yourself and put yourself in a better state of mind, be equally balanced between spiritual activity, family activity, physical activity, work activity, social media and entertainment activity. And if you're not balanced in those things, it can be very depressing and it can throw you off. And even myself, I'm very tempted in all these areas because my main job is animals 24/7 and then dealing with people who want or have questions on animals 24/7. And so I need to take my own advice here really and come up with, you know, more balanced structure in my life so that I don't end up swaying too heavily in one direction and not having great mental stability and consistency. So anyway, I just wanted to comment and react on this video that Noah did. I hope you guys are doing well. And if there's other videos or topics that you would like for me to comment on or react to in the reptile hobby, drop it in the comments below. Make sure you guys take care of yourself and pursue your passions. Have a geeky gecko great day, and I'll see you in the near future. Peace.